Hello YouTubers, this is N0AGI here on part 2 of the November 2016 shack redesign slash overhaul sort of a project. So as a follow-up from my last part 1, I marked down about 25.5 inches from all the way from the spacer all the way to the top, about 25.5 inches. So I just marked it down, and I'm gonna cut these legs at those markers and basically take this piece out and then drop this right on top of that. So we still have about 28.5 inches in total between the bench and this top frame. This is about 2.5 inches, so we're gaining about 28 inches approximately in total. That should be pretty good comfort height. So that's the plans. I just took out all the workbenches from that side and the shack side. So that's a quick update. I'm waiting for my DeWalt bandsaw, metal cutting bandsaw, to arrive this afternoon from UPS, and I will get that plugged in and get this thing taken care of. And I'm hoping to do similar resizing with that desk, of course, and go from there. The other piece of maybe a thought I had after I had a chance to noodle over the stacking or tearing up these workbenches is, it really won't do me any good if I stacked up that right on top of this after resizing, primarily because it will be an end-to-end stack up, which means I won't have enough opportunity to work on the surface area, primarily because of that reason. Instead, if I cut this wood, or if I cut this bench down in half, as in half that way, so if you can take a look at this underside of the workbench, there's this pre-cut I think that might be a relief stress, or what I call the weather relief or expansion contraction, sort of a weather relief for the wood. So if I cut it in half, let's say at that mark, I think that's a 1 foot marker, I could then stack these two up one on top of each other and then take that over to the other workbench. So I'll gain 2 levels on top of that. And also I'll have about a foot worth of workspace on that workbench. So I think that might be a better option rather than just taking it and stacking it on top of that. So anyways, we'll cross the bridge once we get to that stage. And I just want to do a quick update. Got the DeWalt bandsaw, and we ordered that, I believe, 2 days ago in Amazon.com. So we'll get this opened up. Alright, so here we go. It's the model number is DWM120K, and we got some blades also. So looks good. A nice heavy duty plastic case that goes with it. So stay tuned. Yep, nice looking box here, quite big. Should be, hopefully this will work out for what I'm trying to do, and we'll get this opened up and get to work here. I actually also moved the surface area, the top workbench area, from the frame here, and we'll get this cut out. All right. There we go. Looks good. It comes with a blade already, and that's a, I wonder what type of blade this is. Is this for metal cutting or not? I'm not sure. I think it is, but this one here says it is portable bandsaw blades, matrix 2, bimetal, 8% cobalt. I have no idea what that is, but all I know is that it is bimetal. Well, we'll give it a shot. And there's also some good guidance here on how to place the blade on the cutting surface, and do's and don'ts, sort of a guidance here from the manual. So this is definitely good. Well, this thing cut really well. It cut through like butter, although there's not much to cut here really. It's a heavier gauge sheet metal, so it shouldn't be an issue. But really, I think that whole cut took me about 40 seconds, I think. But anyways, very impressed with the quality. There isn't much of a debris. I used some 3-in-1 multi-purpose oil, just a few drops before I started cutting, so worked out really good. All right, I'll be right back. Here we go. I cut the first 3 legs on one side of the workbench. I'll take care of the other 3 here and get that installed and see how it looks. I'll be right back. Well, here we go. The other side is also cut to length or height, and now I just need to mount that desk over on top of this new frame and give it a quick test and see how it looks and feels, and go from there, and then switch over to that one over there and get it to size up. Alright, I'll be right back. So I just placed the surface area, the workbench, on top of the newly cut frame. Looks pretty good. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. We have, this is about, from here up to the top is about 25.5 inches, and we gain about another 2.5 or so inches on top of that. So I think this is a good height for a sit and work sort of a setup. So now what I need to do is, as you can tell, the previous setup, or the previous frame, had these threaded holes through which the 2 sections were joined together through these threaded holes. So I'll have to drill 2 holes on each of the legs, as you can tell, and put some bolts in there. I won't thread them, obviously, like with that. It looks like this is an embedded nut in there, but anyways, I won't go that far, but I'll probably just drill a couple of holes in each of the legs and put the bolts in there, and I think we should be in good shape. Alright, so I'll get that done and get this stood up and go to the next workbench here. I'll be right back. So before I started drilling holes into the threading there, here's a quick view of the new height for this workbench area. Looks pretty good. I'll set up a chair and see how this looks. I'll be right back. So here is my working chair, and I just sat in it. It looks pretty good, very comfortable, and I'm very happy with the way it turned out, and look forward to getting the other one done and go from there. So here's the second workbench that's cut to height, and I believe we have both of these workbenches good to go. The step number 3 is to take that workbench, cut it lengthwise, cut them in half, and do some routing maybe around the edges to make it look good, and then stack them up on one of these benches so that I'll have 2 tiers on top of that. So that will be for another time, not today. And this concludes our part number 2, and then I should come back with part 3. Thanks for watching.